What's up, Drop Pod listeners? You can check out new episodes of the Drop Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find all of our content on YouTube at the Drop Golf Podcast and on our socials. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Drop_pod. No matter how you consume us, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Follow and listen along.
This episode is brought to you by All County Exteriors. Discover the excellence of All County Exteriors, a third-generation leader in premier exterior home remodeling, proudly celebrating over 40 years of success. While most remodeling companies last just 5 years, All County Exteriors has withstood the test of time, consistently delivering top-quality roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Their expertise extends from small repairs to large additions, serving homeowners and builders alike. More than just a construction company, All County Exteriors is deeply committed to community service, proudly supporting organizations such as the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the American Cancer Society, Roofs for Troops, and Parents of Autistic Children. If you have planned to do any exterior remodeling, call the experts at All County Exteriors for a free, no-obligation estimate for your project. Just call 732-370-2780 or email them at info@allcountyonline.com. That's 732-370-2780 for All County Exteriors for all your remodeling needs. This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? How you doing this week? Welcome back. Today is July 23rd, episode 94, Mike. Episode 94 coming at the people. We have a quite a bit to get to, but let's get to some of it. You know, the British Open. The Open Championship ended this week, so we got a little recap for you there, and we got some updates on what Mike and I have going on. So let's jump right into it, yeah?
Works for me.
This week's schedule. Yesterday, the 22nd, Magic Mike Monday. We talked about it last week. Mike had an absolutely epic trip down to Pinehurst, and on his way down there, he played Independence Golf Club outside the Richmond area, and that was yesterday's hole, right? He took on the par 5, 13th hole there. Independence Golf Club is where they are hosting part of the stroke play for the USGA Mid-Am. It's where Richmond plays, Mike. So it's a big boy golf club.
Yeah, it's a great ending. It's a typical Mike Poro ending. If you haven't watched it, you got to stop this real quick, go back and watch it. It's a typical, playing with Jerry Poro. You got a 2-footer left on to go, and I think we all know how that typically goes. So it wasn't given. No, it wasn't given, and yeah, I missed it. Okay, so I missed it. Another 3-putt 6 on a par 5 after getting there in 2. Like, yeah, just a typical Jerry Poro, throws the flag in as I'm ready to break the damn putter, but it's a good bogey.
And this is why you should be well ready for these kind of putts, and
I wasn't.
Weren't ready for it. That's okay. Even the best miss them. You, Rory, you miss these sliders.
Yeah, listen, you want to put me in that category of him, I'd gladly take that.
Today, Tuesday, like I said, the 23rd is episode 94. You can get us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can check us out. You can watch Mike and I on YouTube, the Drop Golf Podcast. Over there, and you can watch what we got going on here. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 24th, we got a double video coming out. Now, what do I mean by double video? I have a Ryan's verse. I got down to Tidewater, got to play there. Ryan versus Tidewater is going to be down there. But also, while I was down at Tidewater, I ran into a friend of mine. You might know him, Dr. Mike.
Friend of the program.
Friend of the program. Yeah, friend of the show. And we put together some pre-round work, a little stretching routine to kind of warm up the body, some different things. We recorded on the range there at Tidewater, and we're going to talk a little bit about it in a few minutes, but kind of what we did. But Wednesday is going to be a double video, Ryan versus Tidewater, and the pre-round work that we did. And then our interview for this week is Chris Bauer. He is the executive director of the New Jersey PGA, heavy hitter in New Jersey golf. And again, a guy that it was big for Mike and I to get on. That was huge. And so we had Chris on, and stay tuned for that on Thursday this week. Mike, you ready to talk some golf?
I've been ready.
Let's go. This is coming out on Tuesday. The New Jersey State Open started by the time you're listening to this. Congrats to, or I shouldn't say congrats. I guess congrats to everybody in the field, but good luck to those playing. We kind of broke that down last week. We talked about some different things. We had Ryan Hager on last week. So it's if you were paying attention, go on over and give that a follow. And hopefully we'll have some good golf. I'm sure we will. The golf course isn't going to disappoint, and I'm excited to see what's going on over there, Mike.
Yeah, listen, it's a loaded field. We talked about it last week, and I can't wait to stay tuned and just continue to refresh my phone and see what's going on. And just for the audience, I know that sometimes you see the State Am, it's 72 holes over 3 days. The State Open is a little different in that respect. There is a purse for the winner, for the pros that are playing. There's a cut just like there was for the State Am, but this year, for the State Open, they do 36 hole cut, and then it's just one final round on Thursday. So they'll play Tuesday, Wednesday, have a cut, and then Thursday's the final 18 holes. So, it'll be interesting to be, tuning along, following, see who's playing well, because I've seen a lot of what Ryan Hager's put out lately, and he said the golf course is just in tip-top shape and it's ready to go.
Yeah, and weather looks pretty good. It's not going to be that, oppressive heat that we had talked about, you and I playing in it. So, yeah, it's a big boy golf course, big boy tournament. Really excited to follow along. Moving from the amateurs, well, I guess not all amateurs. Some of them are pros in there, but let's go to the better pros. Let's talk Korn Ferry Tour. Morgan finished T62 last week. Is not the finish that we want, that we need, but he's gonna have to start making a move at some point, Mike, to get some more points. He wants to get inside that top 30 to get his PGA Tour card next year, and he's out of it right now. I don't think that a T62 is going to help him out very much with that.
No, I don't. And I think at this point right now, you can't expect Morgan to get inside the top 30. I just don't think him automatically qualifying to get it is a realistic possibility. I don't. I think right now what he's got to hope for is to stay inside the top 156. He's got to qualify for the Korn Ferry Tour finals and then kind of just roll the dice from there to see where things go, because I don't really know what the expectations were for him coming out this year. I think like anybody, you want to compete, you want to win, you want to, do extremely well, but I don't know if that was a realistic goal. And I think him being able to complete a full season was a plus. I know he's not playing this week, but if he can stay inside the top 156, see how things go, see if the Korn Ferry Tour finals go well, maybe come the winter, try to qualify, through PGA Tour qualifying school. Like maybe he goes that route. Maybe he goes another year on the Korn Ferry Tour. But I think like anything, you hear my guy Tiger say it all the time. He just needs those reps. He needs that competitive tournament. He needs the juices flowing a little bit. Yeah. And, like Tiger, Morgan will get it going.
Yep. Morgan will get it going at some point. And it does. I know when we talked to him, Mike, I know he was excited. He had high expectations. He wanted to compete. And I don't know, as with any kind of expectations, you got to kind of tailor them as you go through. And I think maybe it was a little bit, it's been a little longer of a process than I think he originally thought. And hopefully that he has tailored that to what's been going on. I do think that it's a huge success, him playing a full season, getting all of this in, having his body be right through it. I think that's all excellent. And just kind of, seeing how he does from here is a big deal. So hopefully he can, do well at the, get inside that top 156, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right now he's in that right now. And then hopefully, we'll see, like you said, roll the dice, maybe you can get on a heater and and go from there. You know he can play good golf, right? It's in there. Maybe that's the time where the reps kind of, just snap into place, but we'll see.
Are you looking for the perfect place to tee it up this season? Or just looking for a great spot for casual comfort food? Or how about the most picturesque backdrop for the wedding of your dreams? Then you need to go visit Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth, New Jersey, conveniently located in Union County, right off exit 138 on the Garden State Parkway. Galloping Hill encompasses over more than 270 beautiful acres. It was again ranked in the top 10 of best public golf courses in New Jersey. Galloping Hill also offers a top 50 in the country learning center with 52 stalls and a 45,000 square foot practice area. In addition to a 9-hole course that is ranked in the top 10 of short courses in the entire country, Galloping Hill is more than just golf. The Hill Tavern Bar and Grill is a gastro pub with seasonal food and beer options updated regularly with amazing views of the course. Hosting over 100 golf outings and over 400 social events per year, their catering team consistently wins awards each year from the Knot and the Wedding Wire. Schedule a tour for your special event at the clubhouse at gallopinghill.com. It's all happening this year at Galloping Hill Golf Course.
Xander wins his second major of the year. I don't know if you know this, but that's a pretty good thing. Winning 2 majors in a season is not easily accomplished. I don't know this. I'm just snowballing with this. How many people have 2 majors in a year? You think that's a big list?
I would say I thought I saw somewhere that listed this on Twitter yesterday about how many people did it, and it was like maybe 1 of 8 have won 2 majors in a season, and I think the last one was Brooks Koepka was the last time it happened, and prior to Brooks, it was Tiger.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so he's in a solid field, and if I remember correctly, the stat also read that every one of those 7-8 guys were Hall of Famers.
Well, okay, so I just did a quick Google, and it says the title of the article says 16 golfers have won 2 majors in 1 year.
Okay.
So with the British Open being one of them. So maybe there's a little caveat. I had to scroll over. Maybe that's a little caveat, but yeah, that's pretty good company. That's a smaller list than I would have thought if it is 16. So
I mean, listen, it opens up a lot of dialogue because Xander's got 2, Scotty Scheffler's got 2, and everybody was talking about Scotty going to win 900 majors after he went on his bender through the spring his bender through the spring and all the way through the Masters. It was like he's going to win them all, and he never won another one. So not for nothing. I mean, you're talking a very interesting conversation for Player of the Year between Scotty and his 6 wins and Xander and his 2, both being majors, because I think anybody would take majors over regular tour winning wins.
Who do you have as the front runner for that? You mentioned it. What are your thoughts on that kind of thing? Like, is the Player of the Year someone who's got more majors or more wins?
So I think I don't know. It's a weird stat. It's a weird stat because you would have to say the Player of the Year encompasses the entire season from the beginning to the end, and your overall body of work is really what matters. Not to say Xander. I mean, Xander was leading the players 54 holes in, and Scotty came back and beat him. So it's not like Xander was playing bad golf.
It's not like he just got on a heater for 2 weeks, right? Yeah.
No, he had been playing well all season. But so I think in that context, you'd have to say that Scotty's had a better season, right? But I'll say this.
So right now, it still could change. But
I'll take Xander's 2 majors over Scotty's 6 wins. Even though I know I prefaced this in our pre-show, you and I don't like the 2 that he's won. I don't rank them in that order, but I would rather have 2 majors than 5 outside wins and just 1 Masters. You know, it's kind of like that little thing. Like everybody looks at your career as how many majors did you win, not how many total wins you have. And I think that's the mark of greatness.
Yeah. It is. You're right there. But I think I'd rather have a Masters and a bunch of the elevateds like Scotty has? And how many of his 6 he's got a Masters? Okay, 5 of those 5. How many are elevated events?
Well, you got to think. I mean, he won.
I
Let's say
can't remember which
he won
tournaments he won.
he won
Right,
the
but
Travelers. He won the
okay.
Travelers. That's elevated.
Yep.
He won the Memorial. That's elevated.
Yep.
He won the Players. That's elevated.
Right. So
He's
you're talking 3 of 5.
Arnold Palmer. That's elevated.
Right.
He won the RBC Heritage. That's elevated.
Okay.
So he's won 5 elevated events in the Masters.
So it's not like, and I know that doesn't go into like stats.
He didn't win the
right?
John Deere. Is that
right?
What we're going
That's
with?
what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not like he's just winning like Joe Schmo kind of tournaments. He's winning elevated events and has a Masters, which to your point, I also put the Masters ahead of the British and the PGA. But I think I'd rather have that because it's not like he's just winning. Again, to knock the John Deere, it's not like he's just winning the John Deere, but it's a tough one. It is a tough one, and I think maybe I like that more because he's beating accelerated fields. He's beating these better end fields more often than Xander is. So,
yeah,
I don't know. It is a tough one.
It's an interesting conversation because then you start to wonder, like, who's going to get to number 3 first? Do you say John Rahm gets there? Do you say Justin Thomas gets there? Do you say Scotty Scheffler gets there? Do you say Xander gets there? Like this list, this bunched up list all of a sudden doesn't put Scotty on this pedestal anymore the way he once was, in my eyes, at least in the spring.
Yep.
You've got a real conversation now amongst all these other guys. I mean, shoot, we could throw Bryson in the mix. This guy's got 2 U.S. Opens. Like, you got a lot of dudes in this 2 major category that I know back in the spring, everybody was like, oh, how many is Scotty going to win? How many is Let's relax a little bit here. You know,
it is going to be a fun couple of years, I guess, here. Like, who's going to break away from this pack, or are they really going to kind of go together, right? Like, is it going to be just like this rotation of like you win one, he win, like A wins one, B wins one, C wins one, D wins one. Next year, E wins one, F wins one. You know what I mean? Just like kind of rotate through. It is interesting because you do have a bunch of guys who are in their prime here with two majors. You can even put the 3 major guys in there that are kind of clustered. Who's going to break out to be the dominant one of this era, you know? And it's going to be interesting to see for the next couple of years. It really is.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be so interesting because you got Jordan Spieth who's one PGA championship away from having the career Grand Slam. You got Rory, who's one Masters away from the career Grand Slam. Now you got Xander chomping at the heels that he's got 2 different ones right now.
Yeah.
Who stops him from sneaking up that ladder? And then lo and behold, you still got the one monster over there, Brooks Koepka, who's got 5. Like he's leading the way right now in terms of current players outside of my guy Tiger. But like, I mean, you got this is a great time for golf. It is super competitive. I'm not a Xander guy whatsoever. I'm not. I would have rather, if you asked me who I would have loved to see win that thing, the Billy Horschel story would have been phenomenal.
It's Mike. It's on my list of things I want to talk about.
But I will say this about Billy Horschel. He didn't quit. My man birdied his last 3 holes to finish T2, which opened up a ton of more opportunities for next season for him. So credit to Billy Horschel. I would have loved to see him win.
I mean, I loved his outfit on the last day. I don't know if he did it intentionally, but that's what I see when I think of like British Open history there. Guys wearing those kind of sweaters that have like 4 or 5 buttons. The bottom one's not buttoned, and you're just, I think he played into that perfectly. I was really glad to see him. He's not a guy that we talk about on the show very much, but he's got a great story. Anytime I've listened to him, I'm like, this dude just is a good dude and has fixed his life, resurrected his life, whatever you want to call it. But he's been through some struggles and has gotten through the fire. And it was really good to see him. Really good to see him get up there. I also like Justin Rose up there too. I was kind of rooting for him to be, get into the spotlight. He's a guy whose career is, kind of on the back half here. He's on the back 9 of his career, and to see him play that well would have been cool to see.
After having to qualify for the tournament. Like
Yep,
he had to go
exactly.
through qualifying to get into the damn thing.
Would have been awesome. But you know who I was rooting for more than anybody after we got to the weekend? My guy Shane Lowry.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Saturday was a carnage. I mean, I don't know how it's described. Saturday was ridiculous. And Shane Lowry even came out and said, like, the fact that he's hitting drivers on par threes is a little ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Like, listen, can't say I haven't been there. I've taken out the driver once or twice on a par three and tried to, you know, a little pop, little poke, little something. I get it. Those guys are swinging, but.
I mean, he did talk. He had a quote. I saw him talking about. I don't know what hole he was talking about, but they had like, maybe it was like 240 to carry to the fairway, right? Because they were so far back, and the hole was directly into the wind. And I guess some guys weren't getting there, or at least they were getting there, but just a lot of concerns. That kind of needs to. I mean, it does. To me, that's not like whining about the course. That's legitimately taking into consideration. Like, look at the weather. Going to be windy. This hole's dead into the wind. Maybe we need to make this at least so they can get over the hazard that's there. I didn't take that as complaining, and I know that was kind of a quote that I saw from him come out about maybe it was the 13th hole, 11th hole, something like that. But whatever it was, you know, he had to get over the crap there, and I thought that was legitimate concern, you know, over in that area of the world where the weather is just so erratic, sporadic, and I thought that's a legitimate gripe about the course setup. I don't know if you felt the same, but I thought so too. Hitting driver into a par three is they could probably move the tee box up a little bit, but you're still talking about it's going to be, even if they moved it up a whole bunch, you're still talking about 3 wood, 5 wood, some kind of hybrid into the green. Like, you're still talking about a long hole that you can still get on the green, but keeping your ball in play is a legitimate concern that you won't be able to get it over. So that I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I do think you get those conditions kind of like once a year for these PGA Tour guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, as much as I understand their frustration and where they're coming from, it's not like they're dealing with it on a daily basis. So, like, yes, that Saturday round when Shane Lowry's hitting driver on the par three, him and his playing partner, Daniel Brown, did the same thing. And then on 18, barely being able to carry the ball to the fairway on 18, like, but all hitting drivers. Like, I get it. Conditions are tough, but welcome to the British Open, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get that once a year. It's the reason why Shane Lowry probably left the DP World Tour and came over to the PGA Tour, because the conditions are a little nicer on a day-to-day basis. But you get that. And sometimes you get unlucky and you get the worst of the draw. Sometimes you get the better side of it. I mean, I didn't hear Xander complaining when he shot 69 on Saturday.
Right. I mean, what's more impressive, Xander's fourth round or Xander's third round?
It's a great question. I'll say this. What I really think is more impressive is his back nine on Sunday. To shoot what he did on the back nine on Sunday, to really separate himself, to say, I'm going to win this tournament, I'm taking hold of it, and he just took it and ran. Like, to me, that was the most impressive, because I know this always comes back to Tiger Woods for me, but like, watching someone dominate is something I love. Like, I love when someone says, you know what, this is mine. I'm taking it from you, and I'm going to step on you, and I'm not letting you get up. And when you try to get up, I'm going to kick you again. Like, I felt like Xander did that. He wasn't going to let Justin Rose get close. He wasn't going to let Billy Horschel get close. He just had his foot down on the pedal and said, catch me if you can. And I thought that was so damn impressive, that with the lead, with the tournament right there, with it up for taking by anybody, he decided to do that. I thought that was impressive.
To go 6 under and 4 under on the back, to your point, is very impressive. And it's loading now, but he shot 2 under on Saturday to compare to Shane Lowry's 6 over. And you said it before, and it's exactly what it was. The absolute carnage on Saturday, for him to still go, not just hold on, right? Not to go like 1 over, even, something like that. To still put a low number up there, a number in the 60s, was really, really impressive. When everybody else is falling around you, right? And then to your
That's the
point,
British Open. That's the British Open. Exactly
right,
what you said. That is the British Open. People fall down, people fall apart, and it's who's the last man standing.
right. It's exactly what it is. Everybody's climbing a ladder, and people just keep falling off. And he's able to climb it steadier or stronger. And then to your point, at the end, just keep on stepping on people as he's going up the ladder. Really was. So
Love that.
So yeah, again, you said it. Not a Xander guy. He's a little vanilla ice cream, but he's steady and getting it done, and maybe has turned a corner. I think we talked about that when he won the PGA. Mike, was that he is has he figured out how to win now, and now he's gonna like the faucet's open. Well, you win the next one, it kind of is open, right? So we'll see how he continues.
Next up for him is the Olympics, so we'll see how things go in Paris.
Yeah. So let's finish our professional recap here. The Barracuda Championship, Max finished T13. Great job by Max. Again, you talk about cash and checks, making cuts, all that kind of stuff. Max was doing it. Chris was off this week, and unfortunately Ryan missed the cut there. So he's got some work to cut out, but Max is really playing some good golf.
Yeah, listen, he keeps climbing the ladder for that FedEx Cup, and I think really when you look at like the top 70 getting into the first playoff event, it's right around the corner. Mm-hmm. I mean, we look at the calendar and you look at like where these guys are. They got the 3M, and then that's this week. Then they got the week off because it's the Olympics, and then they got the Wyndham, and then the playoffs start. So when you look at guys like Max and Chris, they legitimately have 2 more tournaments to kind of sneak inside that top 70 so they can get in that get into playoffs. And then from there, it's kind of like you continue playing well and you continue to move on, or you don't. Yeah. So I'm kind of hopeful that these two in these final 2 out of 3 weeks have 2 really good showings to get them in, because man, oh man, that'd be super sweet.
It'd be awesome. Currently they both sit outside of that 70 mark, but they, again, big week, back-to-back big weeks could get you in. So, and then, like you said, this week, the 3M, all our guys are in the field. So we can have some big weeks. I know Ryan wants to have a big week again after missing the cut. So let's see if we can get it. We got everything coming into this week, right? We had someone who played well, finished T13. We had someone who had the week off, and we had someone who missed a cut. So let's see how we can bounce back this week.
Yeah, we need 3 top 10s.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. Could you imagine that?
I can't.
That'd be sick. That'd be sweet.
Dr. Mike Palmacala at Sports Solutions Physical Therapy and Performance Development is located in Middletown, New Jersey. A Titleist Performance Institute medical practitioner, Dr. Mike uses a hands-on approach with his clients to get them out of pain and back onto the golf course. No pain, no problem. Assessments are available for golfers looking to improve flexibility, power, strength, stability, and overall efficiency with their golf swing. Don't let dysfunction disrupt your swing. Schedule an evaluation with a TPI physical therapist and check out Dr. Mike at sportssolutionspt.com and on Instagram at sportssolutionspt.
Michael, I kind of said at the top of the show, and I wanted to kind of talk about it, and it's not going to be your diatribe you had of Pinehurst and your trip last week, but I do want to talk a little bit about my trip that I went down to Myrtle Beach, met Dr. Mike down there, got to play Barefoot Resort, big time golf destination down there. Not quite Pinehurst, but there's a few in Myrtle. Barefoot has 4 golf courses there. It is, again, a golfer's haven destination. It's a big deal. It's right on the Intercoastal Waterway, and they have 4 courses: the Norman, the Fazio, the Love, and Greg Norman, Davis Love, Tom Fazio, and I'm going to blank on the other one, but I'm going to look it up now that we're doing it. But there's 4 courses there. I put out Barefoot last week. I got to play the Norman course, and my Ryan's verse for last week was there. Getting my par was very exciting.
Routine.
Yeah. Fairway, layup, on 2-putt. But this week coming out tomorrow is going to be my round at Tidewater. I don't really want to give anything away to that one yet. We can talk a little bit more about that one. But, I mean, man, my Tidewater just continues to impress me with the people there, the course. It was really popping. You know, it's kind of middle of the season there, and it was great. The team down there is always, they're so good to me, from the people in the shop to the people behind the scenes to even just like, you tell the starter, like, hey, like, we're just going to, you know, hit some balls on the range. You mind if we record stuff? No, go ahead. Can I get you this? Can I help you out there? Like, everything is awesome down there. So anyway, got to play Barefoot. And if you haven't gone to Barefoot, there are those 4 courses. You can stay on property. You can, Norman, Fazio, Love, Pete Dye's course. They're all terrific. You know, they opened up, I want to say early 2000s. And just, if you're looking to get away, you have a couple different places there. You can stay on property. You can play multiple rounds, multiple courses even around it. It's really awesome. But I was down there, and then I played Tidewater with Dr. Mike, and we videotaped and we talked about it during the TPI stuff that we did all winter. Is kind of what you should do pre-round, and that's coming out tomorrow as well. It's some stretching, it's some movements. It's more than just like, what I like about Dr. Mike is that he kind of thinks things through. It's like, okay, what does your body need, and how do we do it? And I think sometimes, like, people just get up to the tee, they kind of do a couple trunk twists and like, okay, I'm good to go. This is so much more than that, and it's so much more detail driven. It kind of gets the body moving. One thing is going to be a static stretch, while the other thing is going to be a dynamic stretch. It really does. It's really a great way to kind of get the body moving, especially for, you know, those 7 o'clock tee times when you really don't have a lot of time to warm up and stretch. I think this is it. I think this is, you know, a good way to do it. And I've been saying it now. I've been playing really good golf, and I do think this is part of the reason. My body is loose right from the get-go. I feel connected with my, you know, swing to body movement feels great. And I just, I do think that it's because I've implemented this kind of pre-round routine, going back all the way to the winter with Dr. Mike helping me out with my, you know, the TPI stuff. So I think it's I think they're all connected. Honestly, I'm playing really good golf. I know you posted it that you and I played last week, and I shot my career round. And again, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think there's a reason why I'm playing such good golf. And it has to do with Dr. Mike, the TPI stuff we did the winter, this kind of warm up and stretching routine that's going on. So there's definitely a correlation. So yeah, I really don't have enough good things to say about, obviously, Dr. Mike, again, friend of the program, but Tidewater and Barefoot. If you guys get an opportunity to go down there, I've spoken very, very highly of Tidewater for, you know, a long time on this show, and Barefoot did not disappoint either. It was tremendous as far as the course goes, and yeah, if you're looking for a spot to go down the Myrtle Beach, the Grand Strand area, again, I've just another spot that's just excellent. You're not going to be disappointed with Barefoot, and obviously, I love Tidewater. You wouldn't be disappointed there either.
Well, I can't say much about the golf courses. I can't. I've seen the pictures. Obviously, they look amazing. But I can comment a little bit on Dr. Mike, and I will say this, because I know when we had him on after you did your winter workouts with him, and I kind of grilled him. And I kind of grilled him, and not in a disrespectful way, but kind of aggressive towards you. Like, would he be disappointed in you if you backtracked, if you didn't keep up with all the things that you guys did through the winter? And I think he was a little hesitant, but he did say, yeah, like, I'd be disappointed if we just did all this work and Ryan is not willing to continue taking steps forward. Mm-hmm. And listen, I know in the coming weeks, we're going to talk a lot more about maybe your golf game specifically. And I know people have seen some Instagram stories being posted about the numbers that you're shooting. And if you
Been some
follow and
breadcrumbs
start,
around.
if you see follow and star Ryan on the Gin app, you can see that handicap is plummeting. It's not going down, it's plummeting in the right direction. And I don't know really who else gets all the credit besides Dr. Mike. I mean, I think what he has done with you is a perfect example when you're talking about promoting the things that he does. Like, I know that he is a huge supporter of the show. He's involved with the show. He listens and everything. I get all that and I appreciate that. But from an actual working perspective about like what he does, like you are a perfect example that like, hey, listen, if you're willing to spend the time and effort to better yourself, you may not reap the benefits right away. It may not be something that by a flick of a switch, it all of a sudden happens, but in due time, you stay the course, you follow the process of what he's sharing and teaching you, good things inevitably will happen. And I think it's clear as day when I see your golf game to where it was to where it is now, I feel like you and I are playing golf together. Whereas in the past, I felt like, all right, for like a 4 or 5 hole stretch, I'm playing by myself. And it's fun to see. It's nice to see. And anytime that someone's getting better in life, it's a major win. So not for nothing. I kid you not, Dr. Mike is the man. I know we say things jokingly or we read ads on the show sparingly, but I'm telling you what, the proof is in the pudding, and I don't know who better to provide that example than Ryan.
And I love pudding, so it's a perfect it's a perfect marriage there. Yeah, I don't know what else to say or what else to add, Mike, because it is all due to Dr. Mike. And to your point, you said something there. It's not a quick overnight thing. Dr. Mike and I worked every week, once a week, and I had homework between the weeks from like November to April this year. So that was a several month journey that we took. And then you go into the season. Then I got to get the swing right, because I haven't swung a golf club in a long time. And then it takes time to practice that, to translate it over. And it does feel like I am giving back to him, kind of what he has done to help me out. It's, as you said, the proof is in the pudding. It is, if you're willing to dedicate the time, if you do truly want to get better, if you do truly want to get the most out of your body and your golf swing, you can certainly do that. If I can do it, anybody can do it, because I have been the definition of the knockaround golfer for a long time. The gains and the process is again all due to Dr. Mike. So again, Dr. Mike, Sports Solutions PT. If you have not checked him out, or you do not know who he is, or you don't know anything about him, go check him out. He is to quote, to give a quote from the movie Jerry Maguire, which I know you don't know that movie, Mike. He's my ambassador of Quan. So thank you, Dr. Mike. I appreciate all your hard work with me, and I'm glad that I'm able to to show out for you. I think that wraps it up, Mike. You got anything else you want to add today?
I don't. Listen, today, what is today? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday, 23rd. I'll be over at my home away from home, Manasquan River.
Yeah.
Teeing it high and letting it fly.
Very nice.
See some pictures.
A little tease there. Love it. Well, play well. I'm sure I'll have talked to you before then. That's it for Mike and I then here. We're going to wrap it up here. We're going to send you to our interview with Chris Bauer on Thursday. Make sure you give a listen for that, or give a look out for that. Again, Chris is the executive director of the New Jersey PGA. We had a great time with him. Again, just picking his brain, learning about different ins and outs of the PGA of America. So it was awesome. So stay tuned for that on Thursday. Till then, cheers.